Hello, welcome to Bad at Board Games. My name is Brad Blake, and I'm bad at board games, so you don't have to be. Today, we're going to be talking about Vale of Eternity. And this is going to be a rapid review. The designer is by Mando Games, and Eric Hong is the designer. Stick around and find out what my BGG rating is, what my value rating is, my pros, my cons, and a little bit of an overview about the game itself. So getting right into it. The theme, it's tamers who want to go hunt monsters and fight and battle with them. Does that sound familiar? Pokemon and all the other games like that, just a lighter version of it. So we're not going to get too much into that. It's cute. It's got, it's definitely Pokemon-esque, but it's all contained in one box. You don't have to do construction decks or anything like that. Your mechanics, you're going to have hand management. It's going to have an open market, but it's a turn-based selection, so it's drafting essentially. And then you're going to have set collection, where you have a hand of cards that you're waiting to summon, or you may summon something immediately. And then you're also going to have a limited mana pool, so that's the one thing that's a little bit different with this and the mechanic. Player count is 2 to 4. I've been playing this at 3, and there's no solo. And I think you can play it at 2, 3, and 4. Really wouldn't matter too much, because the market that you're drafting from is you're going to get 2 cards every time on your turn. So there will be enough cards. It's just going to be random, and depending on how swingy it might get, that somebody's going to get the most obvious, most powerful card when it comes out. Time is 30 to 45 minutes, and I kind of agree with that. It's not too long. It's a simple game. It's kind of an intro game, so to speak, and you're building. You never really have a whole handful of cards, but like I said, it's not a pre-construction deck. You're just kind of like taking cards and playing them, each turn. And then for a turn overview, and I do reference my notes here, you have a hunting phase, and that hunting phase is you're going to select a card from the pool, and so this is drafting. You have a token, and in player turn order, first person's going to place their token on that card, and it's reserved for them, goes all the way around, and then goes all the way back. So, typical drafting, first player goes all the way around to the last player goes twice, essentially, and then comes all the way back to the first player. On your action phase, so you will get 2 cards every turn, and you're either going to sell those cards for mana, and this is where, and they call them magic stones, and this is where you have to be careful, because you only have 4 spaces for stones. So some stones are worth 1, some are worth 3, and some are worth 6. So you're going to want the 6 power stone to be able to summon a bigger monster, and it only takes up 1 space. So there are cards that expand that, but just realize that that's kind of where a little bit of the puzzle comes in with summoning. And then after you've done all the drafting, you can sell one of your cards for mana. You can summon one of your cards, but you have to have the mana or magic stones to be able to summon the card and play it in your area. And when you play a monster in your area, on turn 1, you can only have 1 monster in your area. On turn 2, you can have 2, and so forth and so on. And then after you've played cards, you can also hold your card, because you may not have enough mana, and you're like, I want to play this card, I just can't do it yet. You'll resolve your tableau or the monsters that you have out there. And unlike Magic the Gathering and Yu-Gi-Oh!, you're not attacking the other player. You don't have a pool of health points that you're trying to knock off. This is a race to 60 points or 10 rounds, whichever comes first. And you're going to get points based on what you're playing out on the board. You're going to read the card, and it's going to move your point marker. So just kind of be aware of that. It's not a battle, but there are cards that can knock another person's creature off of their tableau, but those aren't. There's not a lot of them. It's not, the game isn't like I'm going to kill your creature and take it off the board. It's more how can I get points and how can I race to 60. Pros and cons. So one of the pros I like, and it's kind of like a love-hate, right? You only have 4 spaces for magic stones that are your mana, and most of them are 1s that you're going to get when you get creatures. There's 3s and then there's 6s. And, I like that restriction, and, you may pick a lower level creature to allow you to have an infinite number of spaces for your mana pool versus trying to get the most powerful one at the time. So there's a few things in there like that I enjoyed, and I think that's a cool mechanic in how they're doing it. And then another pro, and this depends on your play style, right? You don't have to have a pre-constructed deck. You're not going to have 60 cards waiting for that, Black Lotus to come out of your Magic deck or something like that. You're going to look and see what's available, and then you have to kind of like puzzle, how are you going to do things, and what's the best engine, what's the best combination of cards I can get with how I'm building my creatures out on my deck, right? So those are a couple good cons, or pros. The cons are, a lot of games like this, it's swingy. It's kind of very obvious which cards are the best ones in the drafting phase, and if you're the last person to draft, you may not get anything decent, because there may only be 2 good cards and the rest are kind of like I feel like that happens more often than not. And then it seems very obvious, so that's kind of my con, is like I feel like this is an intro game for this, kind of card battle-ish adjacent game, with powers and abilities on each card, but it's still not like, oh, I can build this deck, or, like, oh, they got the good one, it gets difficult, I think. So it just seems obvious which ones are the best cards. How's that? That's a con. And then my weight rating, I forget what BGA says this is weight rating wise. Let me look. They are saying it's a 2.15, and I think this is a 2. This is a very light game, quick, almost filler-ish, but longer, a little bit longer than a filler. It's this 35, 45-minute game, and so it kind of misses that filler mark. But yeah, it's a 2. There's nothing overly complicated about this game. Scoring may be kind of a pain, but the weight of it is nothing. Value rating, you can pre-order this, they're saying, for $35. It's being published here by Renegade Games, but it's not available yet, it doesn't seem. It just says everything's pre-order. So for being a easy mechanic game, I think they have it priced well. It's if it were $10, I would say this is a good game. It's probably a 4 out of 5 value rating. If it was $5, it'd be 5 out of 5. And then if it were $50 game, I would say this is a 1 out of 5. Like, just to kind of give you an idea for the experience you're getting, is it worth the money? At $35, I think this is about average. You're getting like 45 cards or something like that, maybe 70. I'd have to look. So it's not, it's not a ton of cards. If you think 75 cards and then you go buy playing cards, I think it was 65 and in that. So yeah, all that to say, I think the value is a 3 out of 5. I think it's very average. I don't think it's over the top. I don't think it's under, super great. If this were $50, I'd say hard pass. Don't spend it. But if you're looking for something for younger or just lighter weight, for your partner, for your kids, or something like that, this would hit the mark at $35. I think it's fine. BGG rating, like, this was also another one. Like, this is a Dice Tower, stamp of approval and all that kind of stuff. But this is take that with a grain of salt. This is a lighter weight game. So when they find lighter weight games that are nice and puzzly, that's good. And like I said, to me, this is like, if you have kids, and you want to kind of get them into this kind of mechanic, I think this is a good game for that. BGG has it ranked at 7.8, and they have only 706 ratings on it. So if you've been playing it like I have on BGA, which is the digital, versus at the table, but I'm guessing this rating's going to go down as they have more people play it. But then, it's the whole thing with BGA. Anyway, I'm getting off track. I find this to be a 6. I can take it or leave it. I would play it if somebody wanted to play it. It's not such a time commitment that it would be like absolutely not. If this were a 2 or 3 hour experience, I would say this is a 4 or a 5. I don't want this experience for that amount of time. But for 30 or 45 minutes, depending on how many people you have, sure, I'll play it. But I'm not going to ask for it. It's just not crunchy enough and interesting enough for me to want to play. If I would rather play, I forget the game. I've got a little card deck building game that I enjoyed that's similar to this. Mindbug. I think I'd rather play Mindbug than this, because that's more, I like the battle, I like the back and forth battle. So this is more of a race game. So take it for what it's worth. That's my opinion. I'm a little all over the place today. Anyway, let me know what you think. Are you into this? Are you wanting this? What's your audience? Is it for you and your family, or, just trying to get, a friend to be interested in a card game and kind of like, suck them into the hobby and show them some things that can happen? I'd really be interested in your opinion. Is this right up your alley, or a big nope? I have no interest in this whatsoever. But just remember, no matter how you play, whether it's solo, with family, or friends, enjoy whatever you are bringing to the table. Have a great night. Bye.